Hello, my name is Prime and welcome back to this episode of ATS Showcases, and today we are here in Oakdale, California, and we're going to head down to Fresno, a very short delivery, but there is a reason for that and I'll get into that in just a second. And today we are driving the Volvo VNL 300 cabin series. This is the day cab configuration in nice glacier white. I think it's really clean, all the little bit of aero and chrome that I can put on this thing. And of course we're just driving with a double dry van trailer today. So let's go ahead and get on the road and I'll explain kind of why this video and some of the other ones that will be coming up very soon will be on the slighter, well, let's say shorter side. So first of all, hopefully everyone is doing well. I certainly am, and I'm just enjoying, well, the new Volvos in American Truck Simulator, and of course just driving and doing a bunch of other simulation gaming as well. But as for why this video and some of the other ones that will be coming up shortly on the channel are going to be a little bit shorter, well, Prime's going on vacation. So I've been doing a little bit of backlog recording a bit, but I don't like to, well, backlog record much because stuff can change and things change quite quickly around here. And so I have to balance that, but for the sake of trying to fit stuff in while working with other things, they're going to be shorter, and that also means that they can be put up a lot faster and all that good stuff. So that's why they're going to be on the shorter side, but sometimes the short and sweet deliveries are arguably the best ones. But I decided to come back to California because, well, this is going to be kind of the area where, well, the next phase of the California rework will really be kind of taking its part. I mean, there's been already a couple phases so far. We are now going into phase 3 of the California rework, but this is the sort of area where we are going to notice the difference. I mean, you can see it a little bit here. This is the kind of general area of the phase 3 rework and some of the attention to detail that will go into it. Overall, though, it's going to be very, very nice to see, but I would decide, you know what, let's come back to this area, even though it may not be up to the standards of the other other map DLCs that we've had and other reworks that have been coming out for both ATS and ATS2. Shouldn't put it aside either. It still looks pretty good considering for the age of this area. Keep in mind, we may be right on the border of phase 2 into what phase 3 will be, but as far as I know, this is all stock what California was when it released way back in 2016. So let's go ahead and hop on the highway here, and it's nice actually driving a little bit of an easier maneuverability truck, kind of just going around, and the trailers follow quite nicely as well. I'm sitting very high up in this cab. I realized I changed the FOV a little bit from the default camera view, but I did not drop my seat down very much, so I do apologize for the a little bit more, well, head banging on the ceiling look. Although, you know, I do know a lot of the more modern trucks have the driver sitting up high for visibility, which is perfectly fine. But you know what, it's hit and miss. I like to drop it down just a tad bit more, but to each their own. Everyone has their own preference. Some of you like to low ride it, and some of you like to, well, be nearly looking straight into the sun visor. It's all good though. It's all good though indeed. Not the biggest engine today in the D13 lineup. As far as I know, it is still the turbo compound engine. I'm trying to actually remember back to when I configured it now, because it has been a little bit. I've had this truck prepped actually since well, I mean, I guess this is only being recorded a day later, but whenever the Volvo came out and I did the top of the line one, I went ahead and configured a day cab and also a lower sleeper version, which will be coming very soon, by the way. So keep an eye out here on the channel for that one. That will be coming out probably in a week's time-ish. Depends on what Prime feels like doing. Nonetheless, that video will be coming out with that, and I went ahead and configured these trucks. So as far as I know, this has the just a 400 or just over, just 400 and some change or horsepower D13 engine in it. Looks and sound well. I guess the truck looks really good. I think the sounds are pretty good as well. SA Software did put, well, quite obviously put some extra time into these engine sounds. We are moving down the highway here. We'll just go, I guess we can go a little bit over the speed limit. I don't think it really hurts anyone at the end of the day. Well, unless if the cops get involved, but we're not going to go that route. Nonetheless, it is definitely just nice to have these different engine sounds. They do sound pretty good in my opinion, quite realistic. I know from everyone who watched the first look of the Volvo VNL, I guess I should say the current gen Volvo VNL for American Truck Simulator, thank you for those comments as well. Some of you pointed out a few things, including the obvious sound modifications or sound work that SEO software did to make the engine sound quite realistic. So that was nice to see. And thank you for all the support on that video and the other videos around the channel. I do truly appreciate it. So I think we're going to be hopping off the highway here soon. Once again, I said it's not a very long delivery. It's a bit of a highway jumper, but I thought, you know what, this is actually a very good delivery for this truck. Day cab, just the shorter runs up and down the highway from depot to depot. Not really, you know, not necessarily the long hauls. This isn't the truck necessarily designed for it. It can. It's nothing against that, but the sleeper trucks are generally the ones that would be going on the longer hauls, at least in my opinion, unless if you have to stop at a hotel somewhere, which there's nothing wrong with that at all, but I do tend to believe that this is kind of the more realistic delivery for this series and caliber truck. We'll go ahead and make our way left over here, head back across the highway. Oh, the perimeter alert, or is it blind spot warning? Someone said in the first look video that beeping could be blind spot warning, which is a very good shout and a very good possibility. But it seemed to be anytime I get very close to an object, it seems to go off. So I don't know if that's necessarily blind spot monitoring, although it may still make that noise from blind spot. It just seems like it could be more of a collision or a perimeter alarm situation in terms of the truck, so you don't scratch up the beautiful bumpers and paint job of this. The Glacier White does look very nice, if you ask me. It is a nice, tasteful kind of look. The white and chrome, black and chrome, really anything in chrome. Well, I shouldn't say anything. Now someone's going to DM me a photo of some, well, let's say special looking truck. I don't want to say ugly because, you know, to each their own. Everyone has their taste, but I will say that, you know, there are some combinations that don't necessarily work. I have actually done, actually just remind me, I have done a ugliest truck in ETS2 and ATS before in the past. So check out the showcase playlist, the ATS showcase playlist and ETS2 showcase playlist for those videos. I'll have to do a more modern one, but to be honest, I don't know what truck I would use now. It's kind of hard. And I don't really want to use certain ones because they're actually really good, but it's more, you know, it's one of those things we may have to wait for some duds to come around. It's either that or well, I guess I could use the old Volvo. It's not necessarily bad, but it's definitely old. So put it with some very colorful looking things, and that could be the ugliest truck in American Truck Simulator right now. Well, maybe that's a video idea for later. I'll write that down. You never know. Get some extra ideas flowing through here. I like these parallel roads, just kind of on a little tangent here. I like these parallel roads going by the highway. That's not all just, you know, a highway work. Oops, I bumped the mouse there a little bit too fast there. It's nice just to kind of parallel the highway and drive on these smaller roads as I weave across the lane. Don't mind me. But it looks like we're coming into the commercial or industrial district of Fresno, as far as I know. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. It was Fresno, right? For some reason, now I'm having a mental block. I'll have to wait until I see it on the map. For some reason, I had a complete mental block on what? on what town we're coming into. I think it was Fresno. I want to say it was Fresno. Oh, well, maybe we do need the highway so I can read the signs. Oh, well, I'll figure that one out. Gotta go right up through here. Got the green light. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. And yeah, I'm gonna roll up and down through here. I think it is Fresno now I'm thinking of it. For some reason, I guess I could check. You know what? Here's me just blabbering away. Could have just checked. That's the wrong one. Fresno. Yeah. There we go. As I nearly ran into the barrier. Yeah. Trust your instincts, Prime. Trust your instincts. They generally are good. They generally are good. Not always, but sometimes. Now, hopefully they're kind to us in terms of delivery and drop-off point here in Fresno. This is obviously the older area, so it's not necessarily... well, I mean, it's to scale. It is city, but, you know, there's some more prefabs around here that weren't always the greatest. But it's definitely a challenge, but, you know, they could have used some work Oh, we're just going to sell goods. This should be fine. And we are in a double, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to have to reverse this thing. Even though I'm on skilled parking, generally that doesn't ever happen, which is probably good for me. And yes, we're just going to pull straight in here, and that will be that. Nice, short, sweet delivery. And we'll see how, well, things move on in the future here. I've got a lot of stuff planned. Obviously, these couple episodes will be shorter because, once again, I'm going on vacation, and there's a bit of prep happening behind the scenes, but it's going to be great, and I've got a ton of great ideas that will be coming in, and a few cool things that are going to kind of revolutionize the way I do things around here, and I'll be happy to announce those when I get back. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.